Hello guys and welcome to this video. Today I will be sharing some K-pop predictions about 2023. Remember that this is just my own opinion and it's okay to disagree. Please feel free to comment your own takes in a respectful way. Any disrespectful/hateful comment will be deleted because I don't have the time to deal with that. Disclaimer, the following predictions are just what I think might happen. And it doesn't always mean I want these things to happen. I try to be as realistic as possible and not be biased. I don't want to make random predictions that aren't based on anything, so I try to think about realistic things that might actually happen. Also, I've been watching a lot of K-pop prediction videos, so I tried not to say the same things over and over, and hopefully these will not be boring and overused. With this being said, let's get into it. Taeyang has done a lot of solo covers and collab stages with other artists before SF9's comeback, and he just seems like someone who's very ready to have a solo debut. He participates in a lot of cover stages and he often appears by himself, and not with the whole SF9. Hopefully it's because he's planning something. I think it makes sense for him to start a solo career because SF9 are a third-gen group and none of the members has officially debuted as a soloist yet. SF9 recently had a comeback, so it would make sense for Taeyang to announce his solo debut a few months after the comeback. I really hope this prediction will come true, if not I will patiently be waiting for it. 2022 wasn't the best year for Itzy, we all know that. I personally loved Sneakers and Cheshire, but they were some generally disliked releases. I think that in 2023 they will have a rebound. I'm predicting that they'll have a successful comeback, maybe something like Wannabe or Loco that is more likable and that will make people get back into their music. The reason for them to change concept is not because of their popularity. In fact, they're already popular. They have a solid target audience, so they don't really need to change their sound, but simply because they're known for having unexpected comebacks. One of my favorite things about Itzy is that every comeback is a surprise, so this time it's going to be very different. I'm honestly very worried about Ghost 9 because their latest comebacks have been very overlooked by K-pop stans. Their older releases were very high quality, so I couldn't not notice the quality decrease. For example, the album covers quality, the photo shoots, and MV's quality have decreased drastically compared to their debut. They are slowly starting to become a nougat group. It's concerning and heartbreaking at the same time. I don't like spreading negative predictions, but I'm genuinely worried that their agency may not be able to keep them active. Park Ji-hoon is the only one keeping the agency going, and it's mostly because of his acting career, since even Ji-hoon's music is very overlooked. 2 members of Ghost 9 left in 2021 and the group hasn't been the same since. I really hope they find a solution or the group will be forced to disband. They aren't very active on YouTube and on other socials like they used to, so I really hope the best for them. I noticed that the boys' dark songs are more successful than their bright ones. The only exceptions are Bloom Bloom and DDD. Their dark songs definitely get more views, listens and popularity. For example, Maverick, Reveal and The Stealer are some of their more popular releases. My prediction is that they will have a dark comeback, something like The Stealer, and it's going to be very successful and maybe get some music show wins. Many people have been disappointed by Whisper, me included, because I thought it sounded way too bland for them and the only memorable part was the chorus. For this reason I think they'll release something dark and cool, and people will appreciate the comeback. We cannot deny that K-pop is slowly evolving, and the Y2K trend has influenced music a lot. For example, NewJeans and AAA popularized this style in K-pop, and people really appreciated their calm and soothing sound. I'm not saying they invented it, but they definitely made it popular in K-pop. Another example can be Stacey with their attractive and cheerful sound. They're super popular because of their bubbly music. I think that some underrated K-pop groups will kind of follow this trend and slowly abandon noisy music. This prediction only applies to underrated groups, because famous noisy K-pop groups, NCT, Stray Kids, ATEEZ, P1 Harmony, aespa, and so on, don't really need to change since they already are very popular and they have a solid fan base. So yeah, I think that underrated groups, to attempt to be relevant and to compete with the saturated market, will make more calm and cutesy songs. Taemin will come back from the military in April, I think. I'm expecting his solo comeback will be legendary, even more than Advice, and he will get one or more music show wins. I don't know if I'm the only one that noticed this, but I feel like Taemin's fanbase used to consist of second or third gen stans and they didn't really stream and vote his solo stuff. But after the release of Advice he became more popular among 4th gen stans. There were so many TikTok edits about him during Advice era, even more K-pop groups started to make covers of his songs. My TikTok For You page was suddenly filled with Taemin stan accounts, his views and listens increased and so on. This will lead him to become more successful and to make more music show wins, since 4th gen stans are generally more active in voting, streaming and so on. I hope this makes sense. LMAO. I'm not saying he was underrated, he was always famous, but the fact 4th gen stans started to stan him recently is a very important thing that I noticed. I'm guessing that he will first have his solo comeback, because the other members had time to release solo music while he was away, and then after a few months SHINee will have a comeback. KARD's latest release Ring the Alarm wasn't exactly successful, but it wasn't a flop either. I think they peaked in popularity during their debut era, but they will probably never gain that popularity back. For this reason, I think their agency might need them to disband or only give them one comeback per year. The most famous 4th gen boy groups are Itzy, Stray Kids, the boyz, and Hybe, Treasure and Text. In fact, these groups often make collab stages and they always attend music events, festivals, and so on. I think P1 Harmony will grow a lot in popularity and they will start to be associated with other big names. They will start attending more award shows, do more collab stages, be talked about more and so on. Back Down, their latest comeback, was extremely popular and they keep trending online. K-pop stans are already quite familiar with the group, so I think their growth will be huge in 2023. When To1 lost Woongi, Jerome, Minsu, and Shihun, they also lost a lot of fans. Woongi in particular was a very biased member because of his humor and his amazing girl group covers. So yeah, after the lineup change, people kind of gave up on To1 and moved on. I still stand To1 regardless of the controversy because I just couldn't give up on them and because their music never let me down. The new members, Kita, Daigo, and Yeojeong, are actually very bubbly, cute, and bright and they can also dance to girl group songs amazingly. Since the former members were known for their cute image and for their girl group covers, I think that it's just a matter of time for people to realize that the new members are just as worth supporting as the original members. I hope in 2023 To1 can gain back some popularity and I hope K-pop stans give them another chance, because I assure you that the new members are also amazing people that are deserving of support. I think that Idol will leave Cube and maybe Soyeon will establish her own agency with the girls. They will do something similar to GOT7 and iKON. Basically they will leave the agency, keep their group name and copyrighted song, and they will continue making music. I've thought about it a lot, and I don't have any particular predictions about the survival show Boyz Planet. I don't think the debuting group is going to be super successful, but it's definitely not going to flop. They will never be as successful as is *1 or X1, but they will be more relevant than KEP1ER. I guess the show is going to be as popular as Island, and the debuting group will be similar to Gravity popularity-wise. Gravity are successful and relevant, but they don't really have many music show wins and they haven't broken any spectacular records, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I think the survival show will be extremely popular, and the debuting group will have a good amount of popularity. I've seen people predicting that the debuting group will flop and people saying the group is going to be super popular, but I personally think they're gonna be in the second half of top 15 most famous 4th gen boy groups. By the way, I think I'm going to make a separate video about Boyz Planet because I have some opinions about it and I want to discuss some stuff with you guys. LOL. We all know about Hybe's desire to grow and be more popular, buying Weverse and shutting down VLive, acquiring Pleiades, Zico joining Hybe, and so on. I think Hybe will acquire another company in 2023. I'm not sure which one, but they'll probably aim for a small company that has 1 or 2 famous artists, just like what they did with Pleiades. It was a small label but their group 17 was super popular. I'm thinking about KQ Entertainment maybe, or Stacy's company, because ATEEZ and Stacy are very successful but their agencies aren't exactly big. I don't know if it makes sense, but Hybe has been super active and busy, debuting new groups, making survival shows, and stuff, so it's only natural for them to aim for more. English versions of K-pop songs are definitely not a new thing. For example, many NCT songs have English versions, but even underrated groups, Omega X, A.C.E, have released some English version. Some K-pop groups have an English/American career, Monsta X, BTS, and so on. I think this year we will see more English versions or even American debuts, in particular from underrated groups. I'm kind of predicting of 6ix9ine. Having English releases makes it easier to get some popularity from overseas, and many underrated groups will attempt to attract new fans this way. I don't know if I'm the only one that noticed that lately a lot of 4th-gen groups are having comebacks that reminded me of older generations K-pop songs. Some examples might be Hybe's latest comebacks, Blessed, Cursed and Future Perfect. They sound like something 2014 BTS or Taeji and boyz would release. Wave's latest comeback, Phantom, sounded like something EXO would release. Hello by Treasure sounds like something Big Bang would have released in 2015, and I can make so many other examples. I'm not saying they are copying one another, please don't misunderstand me, but it's very interesting how 4th-gen groups are going back to the older trends. Another thing that I noticed is that SM is making their 4th-gen groups remake some older songs, aespa with Dreams Come True by S.E.S, and NCT Dream with Candy by Hot. SM has always been a trendsetter, so those remakes definitely became popular. They'll probably influence more underrated groups to make covers/challenges, and maybe more groups will have comebacks with old-sounding songs. It just seems like there will be some new trend with songs that sound like older generations' music. I hope it makes sense. Some underrated groups are already releasing some amazing songs that have a really strong 3rd-gen vibe. Just Be with Reload and Me, Naeun, Way with Spray and Drippin' with The One. So yeah, I previously said that there will be a new wave of com songs, related to the Y2K trend, but there will also be a wave of 2nd and 3rd-gen sounding songs in my opinion. It's just so interesting to see how music evolves and how eventually older trends will come back and be modernized. I know many people are expecting them to come back, have another debut or something, but it's just unrealistic. I think they abandoned the industry for good and they are not coming back. Sorry. They both don't even have any social media accounts. As far as I know, they aren't under any label and I think they said they wanted to keep a normal life. If I'm not mistaken, they're in fact both studying or having a normal life. Maybe I'm just too rational and I've already gotten over their departure, but I do believe some people are being way too delusional. Soojin left years ago, so at this point I just wish her the best for her personal life, but I'm not going to pray every day for her to come back, if you know what I mean. Garam was proven innocent, but she will probably not come back. Also, she's been in the group for like a week, so I don't exactly miss her because we barely got to know her. I simply wish her a good life too. I'm sorry to burst y'all's bubble, but she's literally a student, a teenage girl, so I don't know why people are still so obsessed with her. I think it's time to let go. It's kinda crazy how some people can't respect Soojin and Garam's decision of leaving the industry. Of course it'd be awesome if they came back, but I feel like some people are starting to become delusional. I understand that it's normal to be a little hopeful, but the chances are very low and it's just not realistic for them to come back in their group or even to make another debut. Sorry, but Soojin isn't coming back only because Idol's comeback included her and used her favorite celebrity as an inspiration. That was just a tribute to her, but it's not a certain clue she'll be back in the industry. If anything, it was a sort of tribute/goodbye in my opinion. I know this prediction might have sounded harsh, but I think we need to be realistic and not get our hopes up. I think this is all for today's video. Hopefully my predictions are logical and make some sense, lol. Of course I wish all the best for the groups mentioned. I don't want any group to disband and I don't want to spread any hate, but the circumstances just suggested some things are going to happen. I hope no group will actually be forced to disband, and I really hope many underrated K-pop groups will eventually find some way to stand out. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my takes, and feel free to let me know some of your personal 2023 K-pop predictions. Oh, and please check out my last community post here on YouTube. I want to make a ranking my subscribers' favorite K-pop releases of 2022 video and I need you guys to fill out the form. The link of the form will also be linked in the description, so I'd appreciate your participation. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.